want seriously super oily coffee, it will run straight through you.
I don't even understand why you'd want the olive oil taste in your coffee.
Because I don't know. It might taste good, but it's gonna make you squirt.
Yeah.
I mean, I like olive oil. I don't think about wanting it in my coffee.
I think it'd be. I have tried it, so I can't really say anything to it.
Yeah.
But there's some reason behind it. I don't know.
Oops.
Poops.
Doesn't coffee already kind of do that to you?
Yeah, it does.
I know, but think about it, if it did it like much more.
Who have you heard this from?
I just know. But
Is it
it's the thing. I've seen it. People talk about it. It's making me poop.
I've seen it.
Yes.
I've seen it.
They had a free like, oh, try it, little like tester at Starbucks. I was like,
Yeah.
no.
Can you?
What would trick?
Would you do it? Like, would you try it
I'd have to have like
for the pod?
no, probably
For the
not.
pod.
I'd have to know that like no, probably not. I did just get a bidet,
Oh,
so
Everyone should get a bidet. All right. Let's start this thing. Let's do this. Whenever you're ready, L-Man.
good morning and welcome. 1, 4, 2, down, 2, dunk. You can find us on The Athletic and anywhere else you subscribe to your podcast. Go to theathletic.com/down2dunk. The Athletic for $1 a month for 6 months. I am Luke. Joined this morning by Andrew.
But I gotta say, I'm just fired up to be here today. It's pretty cool. Pretty damn cool.
Slam through.
It's Jay.
Taylor
He's
is
sleepy.
asleep.
He's a little sleepy peepee.
And he may show up later.
May not though.
You'll know because he's going to come in here like
It's
Red hot.
gangbusters.
It's going to be loud when he does get here. So the trade deadline was yesterday. We will now talk about trades. We will move our conversation to who can they get in the buyout market because they have 2 spots. But we won't talk about that a ton today because we'll talk about it all of next week as we overrate anyone and everyone who gets bought out.
Oh, yeah.
But this,
You remember Markeith Morris?
oh my gosh, I was so pumped and jacked to get Markeith on this team, and he
Did not turn out good for us.
he was not good at basketball anymore, and that's why a team decided to let him walk away from them. So,
Well, I'm just really hoping it's Robin Lopez, but I'll let y'all talk about that next week.
I would love to have Robin Lopez. Give me every moment of Robin Lopez except for playing, but just give me.
Yeah, just 5 minutes.
We just have him
Worst
around.
case scenario.
We have him around. All right, let's talk about the trade deadline. We're going to go through 5 different categories. And the first one is your favorite trade. The trade that happened yesterday, that was your favorite trade. It could be the Hayward trade if you want it to be.
That's a homer take.
But it doesn't have to be. But what was your favorite trade?
My favorite trade of the day is I have loved what the Knicks have done over the past month.
Mhm.
And I know it's hard because yesterday was the same time that they released that OG had surgery on a bone spur in his elbow and he's out for 3 weeks. But to add Bogdanovich and Alec Burks, indifferent to that, although he's shooting like 44% from the 3-point line, but he's obviously a Tibbs guy and knows New York and their expectations for his play. But to add more depth to a already pretty deep team, losing Quentin Grimes, obviously, I think Quentin Grimes was one of those guys that was always a highly thought of younger asset, and so you knew they had to give up something. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that the Knicks have turned quite the page when it comes to development and what they do with the assets they have. And so that's probably one of my favorite ones. I'm trying to think of other options. I do like the buddy to the Sixers. Don't really
The buddy.
the buddy to the Sixers.
The buddy.
I don't know why the Pacers did that.
Because he's expiring. Like it's like an asset management type of deal, which I don't like it for them. I agree with you because he helps the Pacers play the way they want to. Like he takes a ton of threes. he hits a ton of threes, and they don't like that production was replaced with Doug McDermott. It's like, I don't know, like we've been down that road before. Like he's not doing that. So I think it's a step back for them. And I think maybe they hope their young guys kind of fill in, like Aaron Neesmith and Adrian Nimhard can come in and take more minutes. But I think it's going to be tough to fill those minutes. And you're right. Like if Embiid's healthy, Buddy's a great player to play with them.
Yeah, they've just got to hold on for these next 4 weeks.
3 or 4 years.
I know. I know. I'm like,
I just don't.
he'll be reevaluated in 4 weeks. We're all just like, sure. Yeah.
I just don't believe the 76ers. I just don't believe in them. You know, they can't. I don't think they're ever going to get it together.
It's a fair assessment.
You know,
There's a lot of hope there with them because Embiid has been ridiculous this year, but
what I just look
he
at,
needs to be healthy.
what I just wait for every year is the podcast, that the yearly podcast that they do, where it's just like depression.
Yeah.
And it's
You look
very
forward to
sad.
that.
Well, it's coming. You know, it's gonna. I mean, they have such high expectations because of how good the team should be,
Mm-hmm.
and
Well,
it's just coming. I mean, it's
And if
very,
you're, I mean, the most famous Sixers pod is the Rights to Ricky Sanchez, and those
Yeah.
guys do angry and sad pods maybe better than anybody else.
Yeah.
yeah. I
A
listen.
lot of
I
experience.
listen to
with it.
last, but it's just
Yeah.
I hate it for them. You
Yeah.
know, but I do think, I expect it now.
Yeah. I think it's fair because it's been on repeat for years now.
Yeah.
So, are there any for Andrew, for you? Are there any that were you considered, or what is yours? What do you think the best trade of the day was?
For my own enjoyment, I liked everything Utah did so that the Thunder don't get their pick. Give me everything Utah did, just trying to get worse.
Yeah,
Like I think that is a great thing because I just do not want anything to do with that pick conveying this year.
worst case scenario, it's going to be like 11.
Yeah, and if it is 11, then
11.
11, it's just like whatever. All right, fine. But I
Yeah,
don't think
they're going to take a step back.
I think they're going to try to. And the teams that are below them are trying to get better, like Golden State.
I just don't know why you would make that decision in this draft. Maybe because you don't want to be in the middle of the pack, and so you're like, if we can get a top 6, top
Well,
7 pick.
And also, you're not that. You know that you're not that good, and you're Danny Ainge. Like you still want to get something from this year, and if you're not in the bottom 10, then you don't get anything at all. So
Yeah,
I think I don't mind it. Also, Danny's done a really good job drafting,
yeah.
and so I
Keontae
think
George, great.
that you can feel
Except for
good.
they just got rid of Agbaji, who was.
Well, they didn't draft Abaji.
Did they?
Cleveland-
the
Cleveland
Cavs
draft-
did. That's right. He's
Cleveland
part of the Mitchell
draft-
trade.
Yeah,
Okay.
Cleveland
yeah.
drafted Abaji, and they threw him into the trade.
Abaji.
It's a great name, Ochai Abaji. There aren't that many Ochai Abajis out there. I'll tell you that.
You never know. You have to search on, where you can search how many people are named that. You don't know until you check.
I would be shocked if there were more than
One.
one
Never know.
Ochai Abaji.
But there's 2.
And also I trust Danny, and I'm also like, great. Please do not draft multiple guys in this draft. Like, give me next year's pick.
Yeah, in case you didn't hear on the first run at our emergency pod yesterday is, and,
Hey, a lot of people heard it.
and I'm assuming McKellar and you maybe mentioned this as well, but the draft pick that the Jazz do owe the Thunder is top 10 this year and next year protected, and then if it doesn't convey in those 2 years, it moves to top 8 protected in 2026 or
Yeah.
7, no 26.
26, yeah.
And so I think that's a pretty safe bet that it's going to push out at least this year, probably 2, maybe 2,
Yeah, I mean, I think, yeah, and
because the
honestly,
Jazz really would want to get in the top 10 next year and get their pick, even in the top 15 and be able to have their pick.
maybe.
I am shocked that Olynyk, I don't know. I think the Thunder were, I think we thought the Thunder would be in on him, and the fact that he went for a pretty mediocre first that used to be ours many years ago, it feels like, and then
Yeah.
to the Raptors of all places.
It's bounced to 5 places in like
Yeah.
a year.
Yeah,
Like nobody wants that pick.
I'm like, I just wish that the Thunder, but I mean, in hindsight, you're like, now they only probably have one pick that conveys in this draft,
Yeah.
which
And-
is wild.
And they have the valuable Mavs pick, which is also like one of my favorite trades of the day.
The swap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The swap, I mean, all it does is it turns, it doesn't give you an extra pick, but what it does is it basically turns a pick that didn't probably have a ton of upside into a pick that could have some upside, because it is the year after Luka could leave from this current contract, or 2 years after he could ask out, being with 1 year left on his deal. So it's a good time to have it. Will it actually be like a super valuable pick? We don't know. There haven't been any protections released on it. It doesn't mean that there won't be protections released about that pick, but I think that pick swap is extremely valuable to the Thunder, and having upside in a year where you're theoretically going to be really good is something that teams, that's like the sweetest spot to be in, where you're getting like high draft picks and you're awesome, and it just feels unfair. And there's going to be years where it's going to feel like that for the Thunder, where we're going to talk about the draft for a long time, because they're going to have draft picks for a long time that are valuable. And so taking draft picks that aren't valuable and turning them into picks that could be valuable is what Presti's doing with these draft picks, which is, I think, the right move. Because I don't, you care anything about getting the 27th pick in this draft?
Nope.
Yeah, I don't either. I really don't either. Okay.
How do I feel about Corbin?
How do you feel about Corbin?
I feel good. I think it's cool. I
Yeah.
want it to be good. I think it is good, because I think he's going to play more than the guys that we sent away.
I
Like
mean,
in the playoffs, I don't think those guys would have played.
they were definitely not going to play.
And I think that he will play, and he will matter in the playoffs.
Yeah, he's still a good player. I mean, that's the thing about it. And he's got to be healthy, which from what I understand, he's getting there, if not very close to being there.
And we also know the Thunder, if he, failed a physical, they'd send it back. I mean, he's going to have to,
yeah.
So I think he will be healthy.
Yeah, I think they did I assume they did their due diligence on his health.
And so
after some botched things, but I mean, he's shooting 36% from three. He's shooting 40% from the corners this year. And the thing is, he's like very, very versatile.
That's the thing. The team that he was on, what number of player do you think he was? Like, he was the blank best player.
Probably like the second best player, third best player.
So you've been thinking on those teams, he's getting guarded by the second or third best defender. And now on this team, he's going to be the fourth or fifth best player. Maybe he'll be, depending on where he is health wise, he could be lower than that. And so he's going to be being guarded by,
Mm-hmm.
He's going to get
defenders.
a ton of open shots.
He's going to get a lot of
shots.
a lot of chance to shoot. And I think it's going to be really good.
And he fits the way the Thunder want to play right now. I have this, so I rewatch. I was like, because I don't know, and you can't. I'm not going to sit down and watch like, all right, here's all of Hayward's minutes from the last 3 months. I'm like, nah, I'm good. But I watched part of a few of his kind of better games this year, and as I was watching them, I had this like the perfect analogy for the way I was watching him play for those Hornets teams. So on Wednesday nights, we do our Bible studies. We get done with our Bible studies, and then the students are just in the gym for like 45 minutes or so, and it's chaos and games and fun.
Mm-hmm.
My son, and they had like 5-on-5 half court, which is my least favorite version of basketball. And I don't play basketball anymore. I had to hang up my sneakers.
Yeah.
Oh man,
back injuries, Anyway,
bad.
And I'm sitting there and I'm watching them play, and I was like, you know what? I'll run out there and play. Like, so they had some kid drop off, and I went in and played, and I was like, I don't run anymore on the basketball court. Like, I get the ball and I shoot it. I pass it. I try to just but everything I do is about 50% speed.
Yeah.
That's exactly how Gordon Hayward looked on the floor. It was just couldn't really care less.
Yeah.
Minimal effort, kind of just slow motion, going through the motions, and I was like, yeah, I would probably feel the same way if I played on the Hornets.
Yeah.
And so the fact that he is potential to be at least a version of who Gordon Hayward has been, I think is worth it. And he's obviously going to be a great asset to the locker room as far as, experience and just his ability to understand the game. He's had some playoff experience. Obviously, I don't know how. I couldn't say off the top of my head how far he's gone in the playoffs. But
So
I don't know.
He played for Utah in 2012, Utah in 2017, and then he was with Boston. Utah won. Oh, he was on that Utah team that went to the conference finals, I believe, with that D-Well team. And then he played in the 1920 or 1819 and 1920 with Boston in the playoffs.
And it's the addition of Hayward is one of those things. If you've listened to a lot of smart people in the NBA world, like Zach Lowe, Brian Windhorst loved it. You look at the Ringer, Michael Pena, I think was one of the guys that said something about it. There's a few other people that have really kind of raved about this addition. I do think it's theoretical more than it is probably reality at this point. I'm hopeful. I'm going to the game on Sunday, and I would be Embiid if he was.
I don't know if he's going to play that soon, but
why not?
that'd be great if he would.
Well, if he plays tomorrow, how about two matinee games this weekend? 2:00 tomorrow in Dallas, and then back here 2:00 on Sunday. It's a strange back-to-back.
Let's go to church, have a big lunch, sit down, watch some b-ball. Huh?
Yeah, I'm going to that game though.
Still have a big lunch.
We'll have a big lunch. I'm a little bit stressed because I've got the Super Bowl that evening, and
oh yeah, that's fine.
my wife wants me to.
My wife wants it.
She wants me to cook, to smoke some kind of street corn.
My wife wants me to smoke.
That's a good one. Anyway, yeah. So I like the trade. I think you can make the argument. If we weren't Thunder fans, I think people are making the argument that it may be one of the best trades of the day. A couple seconds that nobody cares about, and 3 guys that aren't going to get rotation minutes in the playoffs. I love Micic.
Yeah,
I like the idea of him. I thought he was underplayed all season, but I understand. I was listening a little bit to you and Michele. I get it. In the sense that he's not as good as we probably think he is, or is not as important as we probably thought he might be.
he's played some good minutes, but has there been any other player in the history of the Thunder that has scored 3 points per game, shooting 40% from the field and 24% from 3 that people have been like, no, not him?
Yeah, I think that's a little unfair personally, because he's not if you watch him play, he's a good player and he does what's necessary.
He obviously knows how to play.
You can't just statistically define what he brings to the team when he plays. Is all I'm trying to say.
What's he bringing?
But I think
beautiful basketball.
But you know what I mean, though?
Yeah.
Has there ever been another? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So
it's what happened just
I'm sure you could burrow down even further into those statistics and be like, his plus minus over the course of the year is
I think it's actually
almost neutral.
I think it's actually good.
See, that's what I'm saying.
I think it's actually
take
good.
that statistic.
But do you know what I mean, though? Is there another player that shot 24% from 3 that was supposed to be a shooter that we were just like, gosh, we love him. Don't trade him. Why would you do that?
Part of it for me is when you traded for Gorgman, we were like, the whole YouTube reaction pod we had was like, oh, dude, 3 guys when you throw in Poku, where
that was the problem. It was with
Poku, Man, or Bertans in 2 seconds. Win! What a victory!
Why not? And then it's you had to give up actually
a guy that we like and we want to see. And I like Trey Mann, but Trey Mann was not getting minutes on this team.
Yeah,
I liked him. I feel like there's a lot of guys in the team that really liked him as a teammate.
Oh, everybody liked him.
And I hate that because just that group that you can tell are really close. He was part of. So I do hate that.
They surely also, though, will be able to see, and I really hope this pans out for Trey. He was not going to be the best version of himself for the Thunder.
No, yeah, That's right.
He was not going to play at all. For
That's
the
what I'm
Thunder.
saying. Like he was never going
Yeah.
to figure out.
It
And he had
wasn't.
taken some personal time recently. I'm not sure what that is,
He
and I
had a
don't want to
He
make
had a
any-
baby.
Oh,
Come on, Jay.
Hey.
No man knew that.
He had a baby.
They had a baby.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Oh.
not him. His significant other. You know,
Well, he was part of it.
he was
Very minimal effort in the end, but you know what I'm saying?
a lot up front.
Probably. Charlotte's a great city.
Charlotte's a great city.
I like Charlotte.
Well, don't they have good food?
I mean,
I don't
most
know. We know that.
big cities have.
Yeah, you
Good
can find it.
food.
You have good food here in Oklahoma.
I didn't say we didn't.
I know what I'm saying. If you've got it here, you probably got it there.
I live like right by.
Okay, least favorite trade. Least favorite trade. One that you would give a double thumbs down to.
That is it.
I mean,
strange?
give a double thumbs down and then look at the screen. Look at this screen while you're
Look
doing
at it.
Why am I looking at the screen? Oh my gosh, it's raining.
Yeah, yeah. Worst trade. Worst trade.
Is it really stupid to say the Olenek?
It is like the most blah trade. Like
Yeah.
it is one that you just look at. You look for both. I mean, I guess for Utah at least you get a first. But if you're Toronto, you're like, what? Why?
I know.
Why are you doing this? Like Ochai Agbaji has been traded twice on his rookie scale deal. He's only 6'5". He hadn't shot the ball well. He's not a big enough defender to defend wings. He's like, I mean, 2 guards now. Like you really don't want like a ton of 2 guards that like can't defend.
Mm-hmm.
And he's kind of that. Like what is he? I think it's such a weird deal. It's such a weird deal. Like why do they want? I mean, honestly, I have heard that they wanted him because he is Canadian, which feels weird and like feels like kind of hokey, I guess. But I guess it is true that they wanted him because he's Canadian.
Huh.
It is a bad deal. It is a weird deal. You know, if you're the Raptors, you are bad. I feel like you would want more bites at the apple in the draft to just see. I don't know. I don't know why they did this. It is definitely one of the worst trades. I also think the Pistons did really bad with Bogdanovich and Burks. Because they got basically it's Quentin Grimes and two second round picks for those 2 guys.
Do you remember leading up to this trade deadline when they're just like, nobody wants 24 picks. Nobody wants 2024 first round picks.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody wants. We're demanding 4 firsts for blank, blank, blank. And then it's like so many guys just move for seconds.
Yeah. Just, I mean, 2 seconds. I mean, basically a second for Bogdanovich and another for Alec Burks. Like, that's not good. Quentin Grimes, it's a huge red flag that the Knicks were just like, you know what? You can have him. We'll take the older guy instead.
The Pistons did release Killian Hayes yesterday.
They did.
And they released Joe Harris.
Yep.
So to release those 2 guys and add, I mean, you probably had a net gain. They're also on a 2-game winning streak.
They are.
They've won 4 out of their last 10,
Shout out.
Wow.
including victories over the Thunder.
Still only have 8 wins.
I know.
I don't know. I think
I think what Alex said on Slam and Jam, though, I think it's coming to fruition. The
Yeah.
team of the second half, the Detroit Pistons. You think they can make the play-in? Tune in next week.
make the play in. God, I think that they need to
Fire
fire Troy.
They're
My
going to
Gosh, why would you allow the guy
continue to make decisions to
to
form
be
this
the
team.
guy
Yeah,
who makes the
doesn't make any
decisions?
sense.
Like, oh my gosh, like it's just.
Oh, they also waived Danilo Gallinari.
They did.
Ooh,
Buyout
Buyout.
candidate.
buyout
He's a
candidate.
buyout candidate. Let's overrate him next week.
Yes, can't wait.
Cannot
I
wait.
just went through the 2023 buyout market.
Did a whole lot for
Oh
everybody.
man,
Made huge difference.
one player I think actually played useful minutes from the entire buyout market last year. You got to guess who it was?
Mm-mm.
You got any memory, Luke?
No.
Kevin Love
Oh yeah, he's good. He's still good.
and Reggie Jackson.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
he didn't play last year, but he's been there this year.
Was he not with the Nuggets last year?
I mean, he was, but he didn't play.
Are we bringing back Danino?
No. We're getting Robin Lopez.
Probably not.
Speaking it into existence.
We're probably just
Rolo. Well, no, we're gonna move like some of our two ways to full
I was
contact.
gonna say,
like it's gonna be Olivier Sarr and Keontae Johnson.
I was going to be
or
it'll be
Lindy
Lindy,
again,
Lindy and Keontae that get those spots. Probably would be my guess. I don't really guess. I really honestly thought that Luke was letting out some gas right there. I really believe that. Most confusing trade, I guess we can. I mean, that we kind of like
I tell you,
talked about.
I'll
that.
say this one for me is what the Mavericks did.
Yeah,
I understand in part the Daniel Gafford to move 2 first and get back Daniel Gafford and PJ Washington is like, huh? I'm confused,
especially when it took 2 seconds and like
I know,
and like a
that's what I'm
Josh
saying.
Green
I don't
level
get
player
what's
to
happening.
get
Is it
the
just
two
like
guys
who
from the
can
Pistons.
negotiate well? I'm like, I am watching PJ Washington and hearing Zach Lowe even mention him on the podcast with you, where it's like PJ Washington is the guy. And then they pick him up, and I'm like, man, that feels like a good get for the Mavericks. And then John Hollinger
He rips
it to pieces.
Yeah.
And then I was listening to the Hoop Collective on the way in today to our podcast, and it was like,
You know what he's shooting catch and shoot shots this year?
30,
2, 3, 34%.
Yeah.
34%.
He'll get a lot of open looks.
33%.
And it's hard. I feel like we have to at least evaluate him similarly to Hayward in the reality that he was also on the same garbage team in Charlotte.
Yeah, but Hayward like shot 40% on catch and shoot threes.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Yeah, even for okay. All right.
So I mean, I'm skeptical.
Yeah.
I'm skeptical that I think he's a slight upgrade over Grant Williams. But like defensively,
just because that Grant Williams Dallas tenure was just bad.
It was about as bad as I have more respect for everybody on the Boston Celtics after this tenure because he just annoyed everybody. Like nobody wanted. Everybody was like, "Please, can you get this guy away from us?" You know, and like that's the way.
Can you imagine being that guy?
That's the way that it was in Boston, and like genuinely, they really tried with him, and then in Dallas, it was like, all right, we give him just like a few months, and it's like, all right, we've had enough. And he also didn't shoot the ball well, which when the annoying guy doesn't help you,
contribute,
it makes it even worse.
Is there any confusing ones to you? We talked. I don't know if this was before the pod, but you had mentioned the Buddy.
Yeah, from the Pacers' perspective, I understand it, but it's also like it's just asset management for them, and I hope that they think that their young guys can contribute at a higher level, and that's why, and not that Doug McDermott's going to come and replace that production. Because if that's the case, I think they just took a massive step back. I think Buddy Hield is underrated because he's one of the best 3-point shooters of all time, high volume, like one of the best of all time.
Yeah.
And to take him away, and what confuses me even more is like they did it like after they dealt for Pascal Siakam. It's like we're all in on this season. Let's go, Pascal Siakam, and then it's like no. And some of it
that's why I think it's confusing to me.
Yeah, and some of it may be that they just don't think Tyrese Halliburton's going to be healthy. And if you don't think he's going to be healthy, then you might as well just
and if you traded for Pascal Siakam to think, we'll hold on to him and we'll re-sign him. Like this gives us the best chance to re-sign him for the long haul. Like, I get it. Then you're just going to punt on this year, go back to next year. But I don't know. What did you get? So for Buddy, they ended up getting. Let me try to find that.
A couple seconds.
So they got a couple seconds, 3 seconds, and Marcus Morris, that they immediately traded. Marcus Morris, they traded to the Spurs, who then immediately waived him. He's going to end up for the Lakers. I'd almost guarantee.
Mark Sporkus.
That's going to be so gross.
And then because he can't be re-signed by the Clippers, right?
I
guess it would be the Sixers that he cannot go back to. So maybe it's the Clippers that they want him back.
I guess so.
And then Korkmaz, whatever. I'm indifferent to it. That's why it's more confusing.
Firkin Korkmaz.
Firkin.
Firkin Korkmaz.
How do you feel that
that was the Firkin worst trade?
When you look at the NBA trade deadline, like on the Athletic,
Mhm.
the first picture is
Mhm.
Gordon Hayward. Do you think that means we won the trade deadline?
I think that they believe that he is the most famous player traded.
I think that means we won.
Yeah.
Was Buddy Hield the best player traded today or yesterday?
I would if I'm like the Thunder, I would rather have if Hayward can be healthy, I would rather have Hayward because he can just do more. He's a better defender, he's a better passer, better rebounder, he's all of that. Practically, yes, probably Buddy Hield, just because he's generally pretty healthy and he's gonna you know what he can do.
Yeah.
But he's also like limited in a lot of ways. Great shooter. Just great shooter. Bojan too. Bojan Bogdanovic may actually be the best player though. He's better than Buddy. So I would say Bojan was probably the best player moved yesterday. But yeah, it's not Simone Fontecchio.
Not. I think great name.
Great name. He's like 27 years old. So he's not some young prospect.
I'd never heard of him until this year.
He was on the Jazz last year and was like coming off the bench, and he's whatever.
Here's the real question that our fans want to know is like, if you had to put Ochai Agbaji, Simone Fontecchio, and Furkan Korkmaz, the three of them in a who's got the best name competition.
I mean,
It's
Furkan.
It's Furkan Korkmaz for sure.
All day.
Who I think is getting bought out. I would love to have Furkan Korkmaz here. I'd freaking love it.
Does he shoot the ball?
Yeah, he shoots it.
All right.
Yeah. I think if you're the Jazz, you have to be laughing behind the scenes that the Pistons believe that Simone Fontecchio is worth an asset. I think you just have to be just elated and giggling that they tricked them into believing that he is good because they had to give up a pick to get him. And they're probably just sitting there thinking, really? Because I think he's great within what they ask him to do in Utah. But there's like no real system for the Pistons. Like,
I remind you that they are on a win streak right now.
I think there's like a chance that he gets to Detroit and he's just like, oh my gosh, like he can't play. Like Monty's gonna be like, this dude can't play.
What if he just needed to spread his wings?
Yeah. I mean, he started for the Jazz.
Yeah, but within a system. Maybe he's the guy that thrives in systemless basketball.
That's what they say about
Stay tuned, guys.
Fontecchio.
Stay tuned.
But I credit the Jazz.
So let me ask you this question.
Big time. I mean, last year he shot 36% from the field and 33% from three. Fontecchio did.
Yeah, that's what I said. Wait until he goes to Detroit.
Last season.
That's where guys blossom.
And then this season, 45% from the field, 39% from three.
Ooh.
Which one is real?
I'll split the difference.
Yeah. So if he's a 36% three-point shooter, you just traded an asset for a guy who
Isn't that what Gordon Hayward is?
Below average.
Just saying.
We know what Hayward is as a shooter.
Mediocre.
Oh, Jay's a hater.
What is going on?
You just got to lower expectations, guys. Just got to lower the expectations. Because if you lower them, then you're just going to be jacked for anything. But if you come in thinking he's the piece, then you're going to just be disappointed if he's not. You know what I'm saying? Because my heart of hearts.
Just say what you want to say, Jay.
No, I am saying what I want to say. Literally, the exact words I'm wanting to say. In my heart of hearts, I'm like, oh, yeah, line it up.
The
championship, baby.
Oh, okay.
No, I think it's a great addition, but I think I got to temper my own expectations.
Yeah. I mean, they're like bringing him in to be their like eighth guy.
Yeah. Sounds great.
Guys,
start him,
guys.
You see, like ESPN like has him. They made like a graphic of him being the starter, and I get it. I get it. It makes more. He makes more sense in that role than Josh does.
And then you can move Josh to the bench to run the second unit. I love that.
I mean, it does make sense, but we all know it's not going to happen
until Sunday. Hey,
what if he did start?
I would lose my mind.
I know.
So the one of the questions that you posed to us that I want to ask back to you is, of all of the draft or all of the trades that were done yesterday, which one impacts the playoffs, especially in the West, the most? What is the most impactful? Which team got better today that makes you go, dang it?
Oh, it's probably Minnesota.
The addition of Monte Morris?
Yeah. Just because their like Achilles heel was turnovers. And he's like the assist to turnover ratio king, basically.
I just wonder how much he's going to, I mean, is he going to play a ton?
I mean, he'll like basically he and Mike Conley, who's also doesn't turn the ball over a lot, are going to be the tag team.
Yeah.
And that's really good. Like two like kind of steadying forces that can help
stabilizers.
them. They can both shoot it off the catch. I mean, it's a really nice deal for them. It does help them quite a bit, I think.
What do you think about the Suns getting Big Body Roddy and Royce O'Neal?
I like Royce O'Neal. I think Royce O'Neal is better than anything that they've had this year on the wing. So that's
Grayson Allen shooting like
good.
50 some odd % from three. So
Yeah. I think that he just does more than
I
Grayson
know.
does.
I'm just saying. I saw that statistic and thought you'd be proud of me.
That's so good, Jay.
Thank you.
I'm really proud of you.
It's not for the season. I think it's just like the last 15 games.
I mean, it helps. I also just they don't have any wing. You know who their tallest wing is right now?
Kevin Durant.
I mean, Kevin Durant's like one of their bigs.
Okay. Okogie.
Mm-mm.
What's his first name? Josh. Yeah, Josh Okogie. Grayson Allen.
Mm-mm.
Devin Booker.
It's Devin Booker,
How tall is he?
6'6".
What if you're like he's 6'10"?
He's 6'10". He's huge.
Wow.
You didn't know this.
I was actually just trying to describe how tall they are. No, I mean, I
So
just
adding some height, you know.
I would
I like it.
I would worry about them a little bit because all their wings are really small. All of them are small.
How tall is Brad Beal?
He's like 6'3".
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
That's what I say. How tall I am, but I'm not really.
You're pretty close.
I'm very close, but I'm not. But I say I am.
I'm very close, but I'm not.
But I'm not.
Say
But I want to be. But I say I am. So
All right. Last question about the trade deadline. What is the trade that you think should have happened but didn't? And let me frame it a different way. What teams should have made a move?
Yeah.
And didn't? Because I was watching, dude, I was in like my zone yesterday. I kind of took the midday off and I had
it sounds wonderful.
it was great. I had my
Big lunch.
a big lunch.
Where'd you go?
A big lunch.
Did
No,
you have
I
a big
didn't.
lunch?
No, I didn't.
What'd you have?
I just picked up Brahms chicken sandwich.
That sounds
That's
good.
pretty
Because
big.
by the time I was able to break for lunch, it was like 1 hour left and
No fries.
no,
Come on, man.
not a combo man.
The fries are good.
Not a
No, they're not.
They're
Their
they
fries,
are.
their fries
Their
are good
fries.
only if they're done well done, guys. Soggy freaking.
Well,
I haven't had a soggy fry from Brahms
haven't
in a
either.
long
Oh,
time.
you're so
soggy
full of-
fries.
No,
Soggy
I'm
fries.
I'm saying you just have to listen, guys. First off, I'm not a fry guy by nature anyway.
This guy. Come on.
Jay.
All right, so what are they called? Not waffle fries. They're called crinkle fries.
Crinkle cut.
So anyway, I
crinkles make it so that they're not.
all I'm
soggy.
trying to say though is their sandwiches are fantastic. I had
They
one of their chicken club sandwiches.
No, yeah.
If you do the spicy, they put a little bit of that Brahms sauce on the bun. Woo!
Yeah, it's good.
Oh, I know. So
Sounds good.
I had like the perfect setup, and the whole time I had DirecTV on, watching the ESPN show, which is like,
Yeah.
why am I doing this? I'm so annoyed at myself for even giving them a chance to be good.
Did you get a
I
shake?
know. Did you hear a lot about Andre Drummond?
No, all I heard about was the Lakers and the Warriors. They had Bob
Seriously?
Myers on, and
Oh
he's
my
talking about the
gosh.
Warriors and what do they have to do, and then the Lakers didn't make a move. Like 20 minutes of coverage in the last 30 minutes of the trade deadline,
Oh,
all talking about how the Lakers
no.
didn't do anything.
Oh
Did you get
no.
a shake or a drink?
No,
No shake or drink. What'd you
Nothing.
wash it down with?
water.
This is
This is
such a bad.
this guy needs to be taught how to Brahms.
Come on.
I know how to Brahms. I just wasn't in the mood to make myself miserable yesterday. I did that in the evening. at Chewy's.
Chili's.
Chewy's.
Chewies.
Chili's.
Chewy's.
It's pronounced-
baby back
It's
then.
pronounced chilies.
Pronounced chili.
Sorry, you didn't know that's how it's actually pronounced.
Yeah.
No, but I do think you have to ask the question, like the Hawks standing pat.
I don't mind the Hawks. What I do not like is Chicago just doing
Yeah, that's the one.
absolutely nothing, which is it's just like, what is going on?
And I think the Nets not doing anything either with DFS or with
Yeah, they're still under contract, so they still could theoretically trade them.
the offseason.
But
And that is one of the things for the Thunder that a lot of people were talking about. And I don't know what they will do with this, but the Thunder are going to get into the offseason with what, like 30 million
I think it's closer to 40 million
in salary
Yeah.
cap,
Give
which
me
I'm
some.
like, that makes the possibility that if they were going to,
So like one thing they could do is give Wiggins an extension.
they absolutely should max them.
So that's one thing that they could do. I talked yesterday about them doing the same with Isaiah Joe, but because of the contract he has, they can't do that. But they could decline his option for next year. This is what they did with Dort and make him a restricted free agent this summer and then give him a contract. So that's like a couple things that they could do. So they could extend Wiggins or they could decline.
Do you think they want
Joe's
to re-sign Hayward?
I think that it's like totally up in the air, like open hand, like let's see what happens. If it works, great. If not, we'll let it. He can walk. Like I think a lot of it just depends on like what the medical staff thinks about him.
What if has he passed his physical yet?
I mean, the trade is complete.
So I guess so. I was about to say,
So-
what if he gets to Tyson Chandler?
That's right. Yeah.
That would be terrible.
Hate that. How old is he?
33.
33. He's about to turn 34 in March.
Oh my gosh.
Nice.
34.
He's ancient.
It's his last. I mean, whatever's next is his last. He'll probably sign a couple 1-on-1s or a 1 year or
Yeah, I mean, teams probably are not going to want to sign him to.
much.
I think you can only sign him to 3 years because of the 38 rule. So
okay.
it's like maybe you do like a 3-year,
Team option.
$36 million deal and give him, and then have a team option on the last year.
Yeah.
You know,
Sure. If it depends depends what the
if
next
he's
2
like,
months
if
look
he
like.
could play, I mean, he fits this team like a glove.
Yeah.
I like a glove.
And
It's just health.
and it's all
it's just
about like
health.
what do they think about, and perhaps
But gosh,
him-
what
if he comes in, it's like, hey, you're going to play 15 to 25 minutes per night, depending on what's going on. And that could really help. If he's playing like half of what he normally plays in a game,
That's gonna be really good.
like that could be really good for
Yeah.
wear and tear for him. And like maybe it actually works out for him,
Yeah.
here in OKC. Because you're even if like he supplants Josh in some way, let's say in a series that Josh just can't play, like they need to play more Gordon Hayward, he still doesn't necessarily need to play 30 to 35 minutes in that game because you have guys like Kenrich and Wiggins that you want to get minutes there. And even Casey Wallace and Isaiah Joe, like all of those guys will come off the bench. And so you need to find minutes for all of those guys, not just for Gordon Hayward. So I think that you could still preserve minutes for him, even in a series where he's needed more. So I think it's just a really good situation for him.
Yeah.
And it may not work out. Like, let's just like put that out there too. This
Yep.
may not work. That
No.
he may be hurt and it doesn't work. It's
No, it will.
in his
definitely
last
possible.
last 5 games that he played, which were
in like
right there
December.
at the end, yeah, December 26th was his last game played.
Merry Christmas.
He's playing between 24, 31, 35 was his max.
Yeah.
He's not going to play,
He's not playing 35 minutes.
20
here.
minutes, 20, 23.
I mean, at most, probably. Yeah.
What are you looking for here, bud?
I'm just looking, man.
All right.
He's looking.
Here's the thing, guys. Can I haven't said this on the podcast. I need to get it off my chest.
This is a good time.
I believe in this team, and I put my money where my mouth is.
He did.
I have placed a money bet for the Thunder to win it all. And so when you think who on this podcast supports the team, believes in the team the most, it's me.
It's true.
It's me.
It's true.
Gonna be rich.
He's going to be a rich man.
Gonna be a rich man. And I'm excited. So I'm gonna be
So
very into
Gordon
postseason.
Hayward is the missing piece.
the piece that unlocks the Thunder postseason, and I'm ready for that. I can't wait. There's gonna be a Gordon Hayward game
Yeah.
The Gordon Hayward game.
Oh yeah.
There's a
There-
world that will exist.
I don't disagree with that. There, I
Yeah.
mean, he could definitely blow up for like 25 points or something. in a
Boom,
game.
baby. In
Or he
an
hits, like-
impactful in a game 7 that's gonna be edge of your seat.
Oh, that would be great. 'Cause,
Excited.
yeah, there's going to be moments where you have Shea, has Chet screening for him. You got Dub on the wing here, and like the entire defense is focused on them. And then Hayward is just over here in the left corner, just wide
Chilling.
open.
Just waiting.
And they just skip the ball over to him. He's wide open.
Swish.
Brick. Sorry, swish.
And he hits the side of the backboard like Karan Butler.
Yeah.
No.
No, I mean, I
I really hope we see him this weekend. I know it feels quick.
mean, we want to see him. We want to see as much as we can. I mean, that's the thing. It's like you want those guys. To be
oh,
in
dude, it's like
uniform.
getting a new outfit for school, and you're like,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
trying to hold on until the
Oh.
first day, but you're like, I also just want to wear this around.
yeah. You're gonna wear it till Wednesday night before
Yeah,
you go
thank
to
you,
school.
yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Taylor's not coming. He texted us.
Jerk.
He's too
Wow.
sleepy.
Wow, he's very, very sleepy. Hey, let's take a quick break, and after that, I think we need some advice.
Oh, you're about to get some. I gotta find it. Okay.
And we're back after the quick break. Now it's time for a little advice.
What's up, y'all? We got the person looking for some advice who says, I'm feeling burnt out, but I love what I do. I've got younger kids under 7, so me time isn't really a thing. Are there small changes you've done or seen that have helped you with this type of issue? And I come to you guys for this because and Andrew, you're living. You got young kids, they're not sleeping
Yeah.
anymore. But
Yeah.
how do you? He can't go and just go and see a movie.
Yeah.
He can't. He doesn't want to change his job. He likes his job. What does he need to do? Is there a small change he can do?
I mean, my first question would be, are you finding any time to get exercise at all?
Exercise.
Exercise is a big one.
I think
Makes you feel better.
to me that will probably be the one, because I think it's you
Move
can
that-
you can find different times of me time, but you're not going to get it consistently.
But
And
move
so
that body.
find a way to exercise, lift weights, run, whatever it is that you would like to do, or maybe you don't like doing any of it. Do it anyways.
Change your game.
I think that will help you. It helps you mentally, physically. You're going to feel better. You're going to look better. And you know what? Like, also just be aware that the times right now change fast, and like life changes fast. So like embrace the time that you have today.
You're saying
Ferris
Bueller?
Try to exercise, and know that like the me time, you're going to have more time in your life that has me time than you're going to have time like this.
Yeah, they say one of the things that I've come across recently about children is, you get your kids for 18 years roughly, and then they move out. And
Mhm.
if you take all of the time that you get with them after they move out until you pass away, it will not equal half of what you spent with them from 0 to 18.
So just like do your
So
best.
some
to
of it is
embrace
perspective shift. I think the other thing that we can do as, and we're not very good at this as a society, is being intentional and slowing down. And I think as a husband and a dad, like you have the opportunity, maybe a husband. Did he say he's a husband?
He didn't specifically say.
So, but one of the things you can do is model a slowed down life and create rhythms and space in your own life as a family to, detach from technology, to take trips away. I think we assume that vacation and recharging has to be giant. Let's go somewhere that's fancy and spend a lot of money, but it's even
yeah.
like taking weekends to,
Staycation.
yeah, not even a staycation. You could do a staycation, but you can find places that aren't far away where you can go and just unwind and, and be. And you do it with your family at this point. And then at some point, you and your wife or the mother of your children, like you guys can make decisions on like, hey, if I'm worn out, I might need something just that I can go do where I can retreat, and let
Yeah.
me make sure that I also reciprocate that. So if you're burnt out or tired or whatever, how can I help you sleep in or have the weekend or go out with your girlfriends or whatever it might be? You just got to create space. I think that I do believe that we often consider the fact that we don't have time to do things, but we do make time for the things that we value, right? So it's for you, it's like if rest and rejuvenation and finding new energies, you just got to make the time to do that. And it's hard, but it's something I have to schedule in.
Yep.
You know, I don't have my life, my frantic pace. My son's old enough now where he very content not being around me, you know, so he'll sit upstairs, and so I get to watch what I want to watch and do what I want to do 90% of the time. And so yeah, it's a weird shift, but we do, like, truthfully, like, miss some of those moments when he was younger and he was more dependent upon us. But
we have also found, like, just finding ways to, like, get outside together, like go, like, find, there are places around Oklahoma City to, like, go hike and stuff, but if you can even go out, like, there are places that are like an hour drive
Whitewater
from here that you can go, like, hike, and, like, stuff like that we've found is, like, really good to like recharge while you're still, like, together.
And the other thing that I think it's important for all of us to realize that have the responsibility and the privilege of being parents is, like, we're modeling a way of being for our kids. And so to set rhythms for them, even if it's hard for you and it feels forced, but if you're exercising, or if, you know, your kids are in strollers and you can take them on your run or whatever it is, like, you're modeling for them behavior that, even though it may be hard for them, it may become more instinctive or it may be hard for you, it may become more instinctive for them.
Yeah.
It's like, if we slow down and you have to, like, reorient your schedule, maybe your kids will just naturally be more deliberate in their time and energy and effort, you know. There's a book called The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry, written by a guy named John Mark Comer, that I read last summer, and it's just one of those books. It is Christian, so just throw that out there so I don't, like, bamboozle somebody. But one of the things he talks,
it's really good. I've read
it.
It
is
too.
really good.
Yeah.
And one of the primary keys of that is that he thinks that the pace with which we're living as a culture is destroying our souls. And so I just encourage you to find rhythms that slow down. That's the biggest challenge. And I'm still working through it every day, you know, like every week did we even breathe this week? You know, do we have nights where we're not just doing something, but we're together, just sharing a meal and talking and whatever. But
the other thing I think that would be good, it was a change that I made. This was several years ago, and, like, COVID was happening and everyone was inside and there was nothing to do, and we weren't, there was no community anywhere, and all I would do is just watch like political news and political shows and press conferences about it. And I was like, I'm going to stop watching that, and it helped me so much to do that. So find something, like, in your life that, like, and I at the time I enjoyed that, but it really was an overall negative thing. And so try and make a change, and I think it'll get better.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
All right, let's do some Twitter questions.
Twitter questions.
You got questions and you ask them on Twitter. Now we answer them for you. This is Twitter questions. Let's get down to it.
Jimmy.
Our first Twitter question comes from @Alex_BowlerJack, who wants to know if Gordon Hayward was a sandwich. What type of sandwich would he be, and why?
It's not like he can't be, like, the best sandwich. You know, it's got to be like a good sandwich, like an Italian BMT or something.
BMT?
Isn't that what it's called?
BLT?
No, you're right.
BMT? What's the M?
Mayonnaise. I don't know, but that we've had this exact conversation.
Yeah, we've talked about that.
Yeah.
Do you think he's
bigger, meatier, tastier?
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you think is there,
that was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago.
do you think that there's a lot of is there a lot of meat on his sandwich?
On an Italian BMT there is, so yes.
So it's like maybe a Reuben.
A Reuben?
A Reuben.
I don't know that I've had a Reuben.
I haven't either. They're intimidating because it's like on a Reuben, and it's an intimidating sandwich. But they're
Really?
everywhere.
What's on it?
I think in
I know what it is.
roast beef and sauerkraut.
No,
What
it's
sauerkraut at
I
all?
think it's corned beef, right?
corned beef and sauerkraut.
Sauerkraut, corned beef, and then like a Thousand Island dressing on rye bread.
Woo! I've never tried it because it
I've
is
never had sauerkraut.
Intimidating. My dad loves it.
Well, he probably likes it. He's probably big.
It
Reuben
just-
No,
fan.
he's really not. I've never seen him have a Reuben ever.
Yeah, there it is.
Let me see.
Am I right?
Yeah,
It's an intimidating sandwich.
there's a lot going on
There's
there.
a
So that's
lot
not
going
Gordon
on.
Hayward. He is not intimidating.
I don't think so.
No.
I feel like he's like a turkey and cheese man. He's just pretty middle of the road.
Huh.
You can sometimes it's good, sometimes it just is the necessary fuel for the day.
Yeah, yeah. That's I would say it's the BCLT from the Mule. It's good. You guys had the BCLT at the Mule?
Bacon, cheese, lettuce, tomato.
Yeah, it's like legitimately very good. It's one of my favorites.
I haven't had a sandwich from there I don't like, so
It's true. It's one of
I'm
my
a macaroni
favorites.
pony guy myself.
I'm
I mean, it's
Macaroni
very
guy.
good.
I'm
Like
a
the
macaroni
macaroni pony would probably be like
I'm a
the
macaroni pony.
That's the Shay.
that would be
the-
Shay.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Shay, Chet, and Dub can all be macaroni ponies.
Yeah.
You know,
Uh-huh. It's good.
that's what they say. As the saying
If
goes.
you're unfamiliar with the mule and the macaroni pony,
you gotta go.
and you just like jump in and you're like,
What are they talking about? It's a
whose
restaurant.
nickname is the macaroni ponies. Dub, Chet, and Shay. Of
I mean,
course.
duh. It's going to end up on
And if you
basketball
haven't,
reference
treat
now.
yourself. Treat
macaroni
yourself.
ponies.
Should treat yourself.
Treat
It-
yourself.
When downtown Edmond, downtown OKC. Go check it out. It's very good.
Our next Twitter question comes from
Forget what we were doing.
at Andrew Boo Boo 2. Does this count as pushing a button?
I think it does. I mean, it makes them better. I mean, they did something to make them better. They also did something that financially helps them quite a bit.
Yeah.
So I think it's
Sam
a
Trude, man. He
it's a-
knows what he's doing.
it's a win-win situation for both. But I do think it's not nothing.
No.
They did give up a couple second-round picks to make it happen,
and they got better.
and they got better. So I think it is a small button, but it's not. There's obviously lots more buttons to push, but this one is. I mean, yeah, I would say so.
Our next Twitter question comes from at @not_C Jones, who says, "What is the pod's realistic expectation of this season's outcome? Going in, it felt like it was maybe getting a playoff spot, see how it goes, feel it out type of year. Obviously, things have changed, and we are number one in the West. How much has the expectation changed?"
I mean, I think substantial change. Like I think difference of, hey, let's get to the playoffs versus I think I'll be slightly disappointed if they lose in round one, although it's going to be grueling. Like they're going to play the Lakers or the maybe the Warriors. Warriors are making a run now, looking a lot better. I'm like, there's a chance they're going to play a really good team in the first round. I think a realistic expectation is a Western Conference Finals run.
So like right now, they would be playing New Orleans.
So you don't want me to win money, huh?
No, I want you to most definitely want you to win money.
Get out of here.
I just think that it's going to be hard.
Yeah. Right now they play New Orleans. If they fell, let's say the clip right now, it's Minnesota's number 1, Denver's 2, Thunder 3, Clippers 4. If they fell to 4, they would play Phoenix.
Yes.
I'm not. I
In
don't
round
get
one.
scared of any of those teams.
Yeah. I mean, but there is a chance that like KD and Booker just go insane for.
There's
6
also
games.
a chance that one of them gets hurt.
There's also that chance as well. What lower team scares you the most?
Lakers.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
They just, I
Interesting.
mean, number one, LeBron.
Number 1, LeBron.
Number two, like they're big. Like they play big.
Yeah.
Just with AD and they've created problems every time they play. When they want to defend and they can defend well,
Mm-hmm.
the Thunder, like it creates problems. Now, I think the Thunder haven't given them their best shot at all this season.
They haven't played that well against the Lakers.
Twice.
Yet. Yeah.
And now part of it is I'm like, is that
They've also killed them once.
directly connected to the Thunder, or is that because of the Lakers? Right, like that game that they played at the end of the year
Mm-hmm.
was like LeBron's best game of the season. was when he had 40 and was hitting everything. And so I'm like, I just, it's hard for me just to detract them. Warriors as well are still one that if they get on a roll and they get in through the play-in, like
is LeBron still being weird? Like
Yeah,
just
always.
tweeting, like
He's always
weird
weird.
emojis.
yeah, always.
He's always weird.
There's no way he's super content with them just staying pat yesterday, but
yeah, it would feel really good to beat the Lakers in round one, though,
feel
and it would
great.
be like that series would be on ABC.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And so it's almost the one that I want the most.
Yeah,
Just to give them the biggest.
You know, because like if they played New Orleans, it'd be like,
probably get some NBA TV games.
yeah, I don't want that. Like I want them to play Phoenix. I want them to play even the Mavericks, like where it's like Luka versus the Thunder. You know, you want something
I
that's
don't
more
want that.
that's more like high profile.
I hate watching Luka. I can't do that for 7 games or
Why?
5 games or 6 games.
4 games.
Hey, be a gentleman's 5 games.
Hey guys, I have a question. Are you miffed and are you peeved?
Miffed and peeved.
You got any Murphed or Perfed?
Oh man, I'm trying to remember what happened.
I'm GMB and I got my new refrigerator in.
Hey,
All my stuff is cold.
all your stuff. You mean your
You got
olives?
food in there yet?
No food in there yet. Just drinks. But it's all cold. And have they gone bad from sitting down on the counter for a week? I don't know. Gonna find out
Drinks?
when I
About
drink
to
them.
find out.
Beers. Would beers go bad? Hot
I
and
don't
cold?
think so.
I mean,
hope
they
not.
don't. I mean,
I think if they were out in like the 110 degree sun or something,
I think so.
maybe.
I think
but
I'll
I
be-
think at room
I think I'll
temperature
be-
they are.
I think it'd be
Try them
fine.
out. Let me know.
I think it'd be
It may
fine.
go skunky.
I can handle skunky beer.
You can
Yeah, I can. A few.
a few.
a few of them.
1 or 2, you know?
Yeah, it's good GMB'd.
Oh, it's great.
I'm pretty grateful and blessed too, man. I told the podcast the story of my car door getting smashed by the garage.
Yeah.
On Monday, I'm getting it fixed, and it wasn't as expensive as I thought it was going to be.
Yay,
which is
that's
nice. I mean, I'm still having to
GMB.
take an insurance claim out, which makes me a little bit miffed and peeved. But I've got to go rent a car now. That's kind of the next thing. So I have something to drive while they're fixing it. But I'll let you know. I'm trying a new place here in Edmond that's locally owned by husband and wife. So I don't know. Hopefully it
Do you
goes well.
trust 'em?
We'll find out.
Because you shouldn't. Never trust them.
Never trust.
Never trust.
Um,
Where are you going for lunch today, Jay?
Me?
Yeah.
I'll eat at home today on Fridays.
Come on.
come
Oh,
on.
My wife
My
and I are going out for Valentine's Day tonight.
Where are you going?
Oh, nice.
I can't tell you that.
It's a secret?
Yeah, she doesn't know either.
She listen.
Trying a new spot. No, she doesn't listen.
Trying a new spot.
But somebody may text her.
Is
We're going to the new Ramsey's Kitchen.
Oh, you are.
Is that
Gordon Ramsay
real? Are
place?
you really being real?
Yeah.
So you just told us.
I know.
Yeah, you
Because
just
I
told
did.
me.
Once you said that, is she going to listen? I was like, no. And nobody
what
she
kind of
talks to. would
food?
listen.
What kind of food is
I
it?
have no idea.
Gordon Ramsay?
Yeah, Gordon Ramsay.
Gordon.
Gordon.
Which I don't love. So truthfully,
Is
like
it because you're
Gordon.
excited about Gordon? You just want to go to
Gordon
another
Ramsay.
Gordon?
yeah. I think he'll be there.
You need a Gordon
No,
restaurant.
so we were talking about like new restaurants that we wanted to try, and I don't normally eat chains or anything that's like not local. We try to eat local most of the time, but I was like, we wanted to try it. The only reservation they have is 8:15. It's like the latest. And this is like 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, maybe,
5.
maybe even 5.
6.
And I was like, 8:15 is we eat dinner between 5:30 and 6.
Yeah.
So we'll be a little hungry.
You have to have a snack.
We're gonna
Yeah,
go get
have a
some
snack.
appy somewhere. We're gonna get an appetizer somewhere. You got a
You
suggestion?
don't have to.
I don't know.
I haven't pronounced a
Trail
single
mix.
word to it.
Trail mix.
Oh, you talking about? Okay, yeah. I'll just go grab a bag of trail mix.
Brom-
Trail mix.
Brahms. Just get some apps at
Yeah, but,
Brahms.
Maps. Can I get chicken sandwich cut into 4s and got Super Bowl this Sunday? Y'all got any? You got any Super Bowl recipes that you?
I don't have any recipes. I'm excited about football though. Go football.
Are you ready for some football?
Sunday night party.
Who's the halftime?
Usher Raymond. They call me U.S.H.E.R.
I'll watch. I'll be there watching it. But
I'll be there. You're gonna go to the Super
No,
Bowl?
I'll be going to
You know where it is?
Vegas.
Yeah.
Vegas, baby. Vegas, baby.
That'd be a fun bowl to go
Yeah.
to. You know what I'm saying?
Go
Go Chiefs. and Niners. Actually, I like both of them.
Oh, Jay's a winner no matter what.
No, I
Wow.
got really good friends that are Niners, like huge Niners fans, and have been for a while. So I'm pulling for them. But I also have like really become obsessed with the Kelsey brothers. So
Hmm.
feeling very torn.
Oh,
You should just pick one to cheer for.
I put $100 on both of them. So
Is that true?
wow.
no, I don't bet.
Well, if you're so torn, I got a great song for you by Natalie Imbruglia.
I'm a little
Yeah, that's that.
this is how I feel.
Yep.
Hope you guys have a great weekend. We'll have more pods for you next week. We're gonna talk a lot about the buyout market.
Can't wait.
Hopefully see Gordon Hayward soon.
Ooh, I also bought a bidet.
And L-Man.
You
bought
already
a
mentioned
bidet.
that.
I know, but
It's not on the show.
on the show,
Jeet Embiid.
Jeet Embiid, I got a clean AB.
You guys have an awesome weekend. We'll talk to you guys again on Monday.
Clean ass butt.
Okay.